Blazing speed, making up for the under-recruitment, and we're sitting here down the line. Deontay Banks is your guy. One of a couple Maryland corners who've really showed out here in the NFL draft process, but he has been there being nothing but a solid contributor in College Park. He's got 30 career games, and he got bigger and better throughout his college career. He's really physical, and he wants to disrupt the wide receiver and get him off his route. He did suffer a season-ending shoulder injury in 2021, but he bounced right back with a strong 2022, and yes, again, great testing leading up to the NFL draft. Deontay Banks can be a starting corner in the league, and with those physical attributes and athleticism, I've got him compared to Denzel Ward. He could be a first-round pick. He could be a starter. Deontay Banks surging into the NFL future. John Michael Schmitz is one of the best centers in this 2023 NFL draft cycle. He was an All-American caliber player at Minnesota and a huge part of everything that Minnesota has done under PJ Fleck. He's got a lot of experience to him. He's played a lot of ball, and he uses that experience to be really smart on the field. He's good with pre-snap adjustments. He's good with being able to move his body around. And for that reason, I look right to Ben Jones, the former Houston Texans and Tennessee Titans center. The offensive line has been at the core of everything that the Golden Gophers offense is built around, and John Michael Schmitz has been the All-American at the center of it. This is a player who could step in and be a starter right away if needed, and certainly be playing at a very high level down the road. John Michael Schmitz, an All-American, ready to come play in the NFL right now.
Jalin Hyatt, the wide receiver out of Tennessee, one of my favorite players in the SEC, primarily because all the big plays that he was able to create in that Josh Heupel offense. I think that's the biggest question mark for me is, can he come in the NFL? Can he create those big plays downfield in the vertical passing game? Reason why he's being questioned, he was only pressed 31 times, only lined up in man-to-man coverage 31 times last year. He's going to see a bunch of that in the NFL. I think the biggest comp that I look at is the 2022 Jameson Williams. That's who I would compare him to. He's got that much speed, that much athleticism, but he's also got a lot to prove in terms of being able to create space for himself in the NFL.
Eric Gray, running back out of the University of Oklahoma, is a thickly built running back that has excellent quickness and power. He has very good vision to run in between the tackles. He can make stop-start type cuts to make defenders miss in a small area. He has enough burst to bounce it outside, but the biggest negative on him is, does he have that home run speed? But he runs with violence. He's always going forward on contact. He's fighting for every yard he can get every time he has a ball in his hands. This kid, like I said, is probably going to be a day 3 draft pick, but someone's going to get a heck of a running back. My comparison to him, because of lack of speed, and if he was faster, I'd move him up a lot higher, but his style reminded me of Tiki Barber.
Houston's Travarius Owens is a safety with good size, but he lacks proper tackling technique, often arriving head down at the point of contact. According to True Media, he had a 17.8% missed tackle rate in 2022. He is a good communicator and a leader with disciplined eyes that translates to ball production. Owens does a good job of tracking the football downfield, but needs to do a better job of finishing plays. The safety has good awareness and is able to anticipate route breaks, which may mean he is more likely to transition into a zone-heavy scheme. Owens has a tendency to close off half the field with a side pedal technique. He is likely a depth piece at the next level that will make special teams contributions. We have compared him to current Lions safety Brady Breeze. West Virginia wide receiver Bryce Ford-Wheaton has great size and speed for the position. At the NFL Combine, he ran the 40-yard dash in 4.38 seconds, while also posting a 41-inch vertical jump. From an athletic skill set perspective, Ford-Wheaton is advanced, but he needs some refinement in his route running. The North Carolina native does a great job making catches outside of his frame. Ford-Wheaton had a 5.7% drop rate in 2022. He projects as a role player at the next level with the athletic skill set to develop into a larger role. We have compared him to Panthers wide receiver Preston Williams.
Habakkuk Baldonado arrives in the NFL from Italy via Clearwater, Florida, and also the Pitt Panthers, as he has worked his way up through Pittsburgh's program and now emerges as a viable candidate to be a part of an NFL defense. At 6'4", 251 pounds, he's got great motor, great pursuit. We've got him comped to New York Jets defensive end Jermaine Johnson. It took him a couple of years before he put it all together. First through a redshirt year, then through a couple of years of being on the depth chart, but his breakout was in 2021 when he was an All-ACC selection and led Pitt with 11.5 tackles for loss. Habakkuk Baldonado continuing to get better with his understanding of the game and with his dominance, and a great addition to any defensive line room.